Hey there. Hi. How you doing? Little Shoal here. I'm still here. Yeah. um Trying to decipher when the last video I make here in the room that I spent most of my life in. Oh boy. Well, thought I'd jump on here, give you a little bit of an update and a confirmation. For me, it's a big one. You may not think it's a big deal. I think it is. Has nothing to do with wars and rumors of wars. It has nothing to do with somebody throwing rocks into Gaza or, shooting a rocket into Lebanon, Hamas, and, Hezbollah and all that. No. We're not to be alarmed. That's coming. We know it. But for most of all this war stuff, we're going to be gone. And sorry, but, not going to talk about Trump. Not going to talk about the fact. Well, I'm talking about it, aren't I? I was going to make a video a couple weeks ago. I wasn't real sure, like many were, that old Donald was going to show up in Israel. Well, it's been confirmed or whatever that he's not going for the embassy opening or anniversary, 70th anniversary. Please, folks, remember, if you're looking up and you're looking for the blessed hope, waiting for the blessed hope, don't count on any of this stuff happening first. It doesn't matter. Iran deal, Damascus being a ruinous heap, Ezekiel 38. None of that is a precursor to our being caught away, where we're going to meet our Adon in the air. Don't worry about that stuff. If you want to look at it, fine. But remember, Yeshua said, the kingdom does not come with intent watching. And also remember that the last time he exhorted us to watch, it wasn't about headlines or breaking news. It was about ourselves. Watch and pray that you do not fall into temptation, for the spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. And that was proven out perfectly when Peter, James, and John took a nap while their master sweat drops of blood in the Garden of Gethsemane. So, there's a lot more to be focused on, I think. One of the things that I wanted to talk about was how I've been, cleaning things out here around the house. This house that I will be vacating very soon, there was an auction on May 3rd. They sold it. It's been sold to whoever, I don't know. I contacted the authorities, or whatever you want to call them. They didn't give me really a whole lot of information. They said they'll let me know soon how long I have before I must vacate the premises. Well, I'm ready to go. I think the Almighty of Hosts has prepared this heart, this emotional wreck of a heart here. There's that, I'm not sure what it is. I'll put it up there. Old Shlomo in the book of Proverbs, when he still had a little sense before he went nuts and started sacrificing babies to Molech. Then he wrote Ecclesiastes as a jaded old king. Well, he got saved, Shlomo was saved. Solomon, for those who, you know. But there's that verse in Proverbs where it says, you know, a fool lets all of his emotions out, doesn't hold anything back. Well, that's where, you know, I pretty much, you know, fit the fool template, basically. It's been said that there are folks who wear their heart on their sleeve. Well, I usually rip mine out, tear it in half, and put it on both sleeves. So, but I'll be okay. Perhaps. Yeah. In my last video, I talked about how I was looking around, finding things when I'm cleaning out closets and cabinets and drawers and stuff like that, and dressers. Well, I found, you all know that I have many hats, and I found this hat. It's a little tiny hat, as you can see. It's a hat that I wore when I was, say about 5, 6 years old. I love this hat. I love it now. I loved it then. I love it now. I was speaking to a person very near and dear to my heart recently, and I was telling her that I was pretty much always as you see me now. Yeah, even when, quiet dog, there's a dog out there. But I used to wear this hat and perform in it, actually. Right outside this window, there's a window here that I won't be looking out much longer, but there's a little bridge that my sister and I would walk to school across. We'd go across this little bridge. But before I started school, she started school a little bit before me, I would, my mom would let me go to the little bridge, which was in view. I can see it right now. I would go out to the little bridge with like a little kind of sport coat and this hat. You know, this is probably when I was about 5, so it was a year before I started elementary school. And I would like tap dance or whatever it was I did as the older kids came home from school. And I would shake their hand, say, how you doing, that sort of thing. And they liked it. You know, they never kind of like said, who's this little nut, you know, wearing a, yeah. They kind of liked it. And that reinforced, you know, this sort of thing. You know, when older people reinforce to a younger person what they're good at, you know, that's the kind of thing that you pursue. And well, I think you pretty much well know what I've pursued. But I just thought you'd like to know that little story and my little hat here. But now I'd like to get on with it. It's not going to be a long video, at least I don't think. You know how, you know, I don't plan them. I let Abba do the work. I'm just here to talk it out, I suppose. But I'd like to play a clip from one of my favorite videos. It was called Kill Shot. It was a prophecy alert, I think. It was back in July 2017. Do y'all remember 2017? Remember that? 2017? Watch this clip, and then I'll be back.
Solar kill shot erupts at Mars, 7/23/2017. Now, I don't know how long it will take for this CME, that is a coronal mass ejection, to reach Mars, but according to old Mr. Ben of this here Suspicious Observers channel, it takes about 3 days for one to reach Earth, and thus prompted our atheistic space weather friend to quip thusly. Good morning, folks. Whatever deity or luck or chance you live by, thank it. In other words, people, this was a genuine kill shot, and if it had been directed toward Earth, your smartphone would have more than likely been, well, worth less than a tin can with a string attached to it. Now, I've been listening to old Mr. Ben since the spring, summer of 2013, and I've never heard him once say anything as strong as that. So this CME, this coronal mass ejection, was the real deal. And what does that portend? What is the significance of this CME hitting Mars? Is there a prophetic message here? Oh yes. With that kill shot to Mars, I can certainly put a bow on top of the prophetic package. For these guys, though, the three Musk-A-Twits, 'cause you know where they really want to fly their rockets to? Bingo! But you know what? Let me tell you what. They're not going anywhere. No way. It is a foregone conclusion, people. These jokers ain't going nowhere near Mars. That kill shot pointed them not to the far reaches of space, but to the book of Job. He frustrates the devices of the crafty so that their hands cannot carry out their plans. Amen and Maranatha. Read it and wait, fellas. All right, enough of these bozos. Or should I say Bezos?
Okay, back to the present. July 29th, 2017. Pardon me, I had phlegm. July 29th, 2017, I came on here and I surmised that the three Musk-A-Twits, that is Bezos, Musk, and Branson, or whatever, not necessarily in that order, they want to go to Mars. And the end of July 2017, I said, no way. They're not going. And the reason I was saying that is because you just had to use common sense. That kill shot from the sun rendered that wandering star, it rendered it useless for any kind of manned mission. Absolutely. I'll bet you the three Musketeers didn't tell their wealthy clients, like Lady Gaga and, Hanks and Leo DiCaprio. I still say that they should kind of maybe just send Leo DiCaprio up to the International Space Station so he can learn how to take a dump in midair. I think that's about all he's going to be able. Forgive the language, but hey, what are you going to do? I'm kind of preoccupied because I just really ate some. Oh, I ate some. My phone went ding dong. Yeah, that's what they do. Ding dong. I ate some really hot pepper stuff, and I'm making clam chowder, Manhattan style clam chowder, and I'm kind of preoccupied because I always like to be present in front of my my what I'm cooking. But I digress. Okay, what was I saying? Well, what I was saying is that these three dudes, this Musk, Bezos, and Branson, they want to go to Mars, and they got all these wealthy clients. They want to go. I wonder if they're telling them what I'm about to show you, because they're not going. What I told you nine months ago, number nine, number of divine judgment. That's about 40 weeks. 40. Hey, there you go. What I told you back then is absolutely true, and it's been confirmed by none other than the atheist of the Suspicious Observers channel, Ben Davidson. It's always so heartening to get biblical confirmations or any kind of confirmations from the people that don't care anything about Elohim. They're the ones when you, oh, it's sweet. It's so sweet. I don't even have a sweet tooth, but I like that kind. All right. Let me show you why they're not going to Mars. And you know they're just dying to do it, but they can't. They can't. And here's why.
Our first article today is a nod to Dr. August Dunning's insistence that Mars missions are untenable from a manned mission perspective due to radiation concerns. In this paper, they determined that the solar max contribution to radiation dose with the best shielding available is more than 10 sieverts per year on that trip. Add that to the background cosmic rays and it is very scary. The higher end of that cosmic ray scale is solar minimum and beyond survivable. And while the 3 looks encouraging on the other side of that sliding scale, it takes solar max to get you there, and just look at the line above. It is a one-way trip in an expensive coffin trying to send someone to Mars.
Elon Musk wants to take humans to Mars by 2024. However,
it is a one-way trip in an expensive coffin trying to send someone to Mars.
Stew on that a while. And while you're stewing, consider the year mentioned there in this headline. 2024. Interesting, is it not? Well, I think it is. And why is that, little shoal, you may ask? Well, I'm going to tell you, and it ain't got nothing to do at all with these elite nitwits and their spaceships, or aliens, or giants, or Psalm 83, or Isaiah 17, or Ezekiel 38, or even Zechariah chapter 12. Now, I know we were talking all about Mars, and Mars universally is known as the celestial representative of war, the red horse of Revelation chapter 6. But when I see that year, that 2024, I see a different horse, a black one. You see, when foreshadows of that black horse start to come into the picture, folks, and that includes watch folks, they're going to swiftly forget all about Psalm 83 and Isaiah 17 and old Gog of Magog. And you know why? Because the black horse is the one that affects the thing that people on this earth are most concerned with. And that, my bunky-yeem, is this. The pocketbook. Now, don't get me wrong. People are concerned about war, oh yes. But not like they are about the economy. How in the world did a draft dodger get elected twice as the President of the United States? Because it was, what, Mr. Carville? The economy, stupid. The black horse. Now, oh yes, you can argue that war and the economy go hand in hand. And in many cases, they certainly do. But I'll bet you $1 to a donut. When people start going into the grocery store and begin seeing foreshadows of that there black horse in the guise of skyrocketing food prices, they won't care less if Damascus is a ruinous heap or a whoiness reap. Those who have ears will hear. What are you getting at here, little shoal? Well, let me tell you what I'm getting at. What I'm getting at is this. Everybody out there can't seem to take their eyes or their ears off of this red horse. But I'm telling you this, that black one, that's the one that's going to sneak up and take the lead very soon. I believe that wholeheartedly. And why? Why do I believe that? Well, take a listen to this. Something that the Zeus Mossbender channel posted back in October of 2017. And again, information that is not from Watch Folk, because they're pretty much focused strictly on these wars and rumors of wars that Yeshua himself said, do not be alarmed by. But the information I'm talking about was given by sources that have no horse in this race, whether it be white, red, black, or chloros. Got it? Check it out.
I came across this YouTube channel back in early August of this year, and I've been wanting to show you this for a while. The channel's called Adapt 2030, but don't get me wrong, this is no pro-United Nations Sustainable Development Goal outfit here, and they also abhor Al Gore and the whole global warming lie. Now, that being said, they, like Ben, of Suspicious Observers, who this guy is in total agreement with, is completely and utterly secular and in no way mentions anything concerning Bible prophecy as it is put forth in the living word of the Elohim of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob in his reports. However, when you hear what he says in this clip that I'm about to play, you will think he just read Revelation chapter 6. Listen to this.
How quickly are our lives going to change and our food production be affected? This is 2018. I will stay right now. Forecast for me is reduced production for the major grains in northern China, Canada, the United States, and Australia, and Europe once again, which will bring us down into digging into what's left in the silos to make up for the shortages through 2018. Food price spikes. Everything's risen at least 20% across the planet food price-wise over these last few months. So going forward, that'll rise another 40 to 60%. So you'll be looking at double food prices by the end of 2018, which will have an enormous effect on the economy. You can't pull that much out of disposable spending to put it into food without all these businesses suffering. Now it gets really interesting around 2019 because this is where the Earth enters what I call the crossover intensification line. All the Jovians are starting to line up with us on the other side, all bunched together. And as we get into the full winter of 2019, we can really see the effect magnetically that this will have on our planet. As we move through 2020, the Jovians are getting tighter in formation as well as we are getting closer to them. And even if Jupiter and Saturn and Neptune make that triangle formation there, once we get into 2022, it's going to be very apparent the effects that are happening on our planet. The earthquakes and the volcanism are going to be at a high point during this 2023. This will be the third year of global food shortages, and when we reach 2024, the global population will have decreased significantly by then through wars, disease, starvation, cold, and I'm not even going to hold back. 2 billion plus people are not going to be here by this time. That's a conservative estimate.
Now I ask you, don't it sound like he just rattled off all about the four horsemen in his little dissertation there? Interesting to say the least. And he says all this is coming about by the end of 2024. Remember our eclipse map here, the one from August the 21st of 2017? Well, we got another one coming. We got another total solar that's gonna cross the country in about 7 years. 7 years. There you go. 2024. Around the same time as when that dude said about 2 billion people are gonna be dead due to pretty much everything we read in Revelation chapter 6. Now allow me to point out here and now, my friends, that we here at the Zeus Moss Bender channel are not saying that that dude is correct about anything that he's forecasting. But what we are saying is this. There are many out there who have absolutely no biblically prophetic horse in this race, but yet they are saying the exact same thing as what the Apostle John wrote about 4 biblically prophetic horses and what they are bringing to those who dwell on this earth. And it ain't good.
All right, back to the present once again. And just like I was telling you before when Ben kind of confirmed the fact that Elon and the boys ain't going to Mars, got a little bit of a confirmation that what Adapt 2030 might be saying is beginning to come to pass. Take a listen. And please note, my bunkie-eem, that the speaker is none other than Ben Davidson, the atheist of the Suspicious Observer channel. A man who never says anything unless he thinks it's a big deal. And if you don't believe me, go back and watch his videos from years ago. This dude doesn't mention nothing unless he feels that it is relevant and reality. Listen up.
2 quick notes from RSOE. The locust invasion in Tajikistan has decimated tens of thousands of hectares of crops, which is almost as bad as a cold snap and snowstorm that killed everything put into the ground last month in northern China.
Did you get that? Did you get that? Can you dig it? Everything put into the ground in northern China is decimated. Locusts destroying all the crops in Tajikistan. Oh man, oh man. Where do we hear about locusts, my bunkie-eem? Do you think that these secular science folk have any clue? Oh man, I think they do, but they just don't want to know. When it comes to a $10 bag of Brussels sprouts, people aren't gonna give a fig about Trump and Putin and Netanyahu and their Iranian deals and, shooting a rocket into, into Gaza. Oh, come on now. People want to eat. That's where the rubber meets the road. And like I said, when Brussels sprouts start to cost more than weed, that's when the people are going to start getting upset. They're not worried about Jerusalem being a burdensome stone. They want a piece of bread. They want bread and potatoes and meat, and they want to eat. And that's what it comes down to. Now, we don't have to worry about that. Those who love Elohim and are called according to his purpose. Because David in the Psalm said, the Almighty will not see his begging bread. But you see what I'm getting at. Start watching the food prices. Keep your eyes open when you go up to buy a jar of pickles or a, dozen eggs or whatever. There's your prophecy. There is prophecy. Oh, man. Come on now. Think about it. Use the brain. Discern. Get into that scripture and learn. Absolutely. Say it again. Polly, put that kettle on. Now, don't get me wrong, my Havarim. When I talk about those 4 horses, Mr. White, Mr. Red, Mr. Black, and Mr. Green, sounds like reservoir horses, doesn't it? Those who have eyes and ears have seen and heard. When I talk about the 4 horses from Revelation chapter 6, I'm not saying that they're riding now. The seals have not yet been opened. That will not happen until we, who have the restrainer indwelling us, that will not happen until we have been taken out of the way. So I just wanted to clear that up. What I'm talking about are foreshadows, and we're seeing them. We are seeing foreshadows of those 4 horses. Pretty soon, they'll be out of the barn. Absolutely. Say it again. Polly put the kettle on. One of these days, I guess I'll have to explain where that came from. It came from a, came from a routine that my buddy Herb and I did many, many times. An homage to beatniks. So, perhaps one of these days we'll perform the sketch again. And I wrote it on the floor. We were on tour. On tour, on the floor. On the floor, on tour. And had a yellow legal pad, and I wrote that sketch on the floor. On tour. In the dark, actually. So, had the paper right up there. Whole other story. I had a comment from a viewer who said, "Little Shoal, you should write your memoirs." Well, I hope we don't have that much time left. I hope we're out of here soon. I really do. It's the blessed hope. It's all I pretty much think about these days. And I don't think we have much time left. Really don't. I'd like to be a little more clear also about something. A lot of folks are probably wondering, why am I so down on the whole, watching about the wars and the rumors of wars and the Iran deal and all that? Well, I think that what the adversary is very good at is distraction. And, I'll be on the computer, I'll be looking stuff up, or I'll be editing or something like that, and all these little breaking news things will pop up in the corner, these little blocks, the Times of Israel, is the Jerusalem Post, whatever. And a lot of it is very innocuous, and it's very repetitive, and it's like, just, there are other things that we really have to be watching. We have to be watching the famines and the things that have to do with famines and plagues and the earthquakes and all that. I don't think that we have to be alarmed about them. We don't have to be we who love Elohim, we don't have to be alarmed about anything. We're alarming others that are, either they're asleep or they just don't feel like watching. We're putting the word out there. If they hear it, if they see it, if they can discern it, fine. Their blood will not be on our hands because we're doing what we're called to do as watchfolk. But, all of this breaking news, and I brought this up in my last video, it's like I'm waiting for all of a sudden, this headline to come across. Breaking news. There will be a special meeting of the Knesset in which Prime Minister Bibi Netanyahu will announce that he will remain commando until Iran dismantles its nuclear program. Could you imagine? A lot of it is just so very irrelevant. I still say that the nation of Israel and the city of Jerusalem is safer than any city, any major city in this country, in the United States of the Americas, or what used to be the United States of the Americas. Baltimore? Come on now. D.C., Detroit, Chicago? Come on now. I'd rather be smack whap right in the middle of an intifada than to be in Chicago. But let me tell you, it really is true. Where on this earth did Abba put his name? He put it on Jerusalem, on Israel. And nothing's going to happen. I really don't believe that any kind of huge, gigantic war-type incident is going to occur until we are taken out of the way. Till the restrainer ceases to restrain. We're part of that because the restrainer indwells us. And as long as we're here, things will be kept at bay to a degree. So that's why I don't get so hyped up about, Syria, Iran, and Gog of Magog, Russia, Putin, rattling the sabers and all that kind of stuff. That's been going on forever, and I'm not, not one of these, everything's happened before, No. You have to understand what I'm saying. History does repeat itself. And even with famines and plagues, we've seen nothing here. We've seen nothing in modern times compared to, medieval times, the Dark Ages, and, the Black Plague, and then, I didn't research all that, so I don't know, but I know that in the past there have been much worse circumstances in the world than they are now, really. Socially, morally, we're shot, but when it comes to disease and famine type things, we've pretty much kept that under control. But it's going to be sudden. Everything that's going to hit, whether it would be natural disasters, famines, plagues, earthquakes, war, It's going to be so sudden. And why is it going to be so sudden? Because the harpazo is sudden. Twinkling of an eye. Twinkling of an eye. Old Pastor J.D., he likes to teach, and, you know, I believe he's got a good point, that, you know, while the big stuff is falling down, we're going up. It could be simultaneous. The suddenness. I would love to do a complete study, and you could do this on your own, Biebereans. Do a study on the word sudden in the scriptures. There's a lot of it. There's a lot of sudden. A lot. Sodom and Gomorrah was very sudden. Days of Lot, days of Noah. I still think we're days of Lot now. Days of Noah, once we're gone. But, oh, coughing. That was quite a cough. But I really think that the adversary can use a lot of these breaking news incidents to distract us. I think we should keep an eye out on the economy. Not so much, you know, the stock market. They're going to do what they want with that. Just keep your eye on the prices when you go into the grocery store, when you go into like a Home Depot, just your regular shopping. And just notice, you know, how things are just going up and up and up and up. These secular sources, they really do believe that there could be significant deaths as a result of famine, food shortage by 2024. Ironically, the year that the other X, you know, the completion of the X across the United States, or what used to be the United States. August 21st, 2017 earthquake, and then there's the other one that completes the X in 2024. So there we are. If you really want to look and watch, look up, look up, look up. Every night, the Father has provided a canopy of beauty with his luminaries. Let me show you what's happening. Up. The 9th day of the month of May, 2018. Can you believe it? Eastern Standard Daylight Time around, between 8 and 9 p.m. We have 2 evening stars. Jupiter rising in the east as Venus sets in the west. And in the midst, right there, smack whap, right in the midst of the two, the king of the fixed stars, Regulus, in the constellation Leo, the king of the constellations, representative of the Lion of the tribe of Judah. Go out at this time, my friends, and see bright and beautiful Venus setting in the west as the king of the wandering stars, Jupiter, rises in the east. You want a sign? You want a sign from our Elohim? It's out there every night, my friends. You don't have to hear the bombs dropping in Israel or hear the air raid sirens telling people in the Golan to enter into their bomb shelters. And we pray for them with all of our hearts, praying for the peace of Jerusalem. But if you want a sign, you can go out every night and you can see that the Elohim of all things is there, watching over us every moment. And he declares his glory through his luminaries. his signs, in the Shamaim, in the sun, in the moon, and in the stars. Go out, my friends. Go out as the sun sets. It's going to be for a while. Venus setting in the west, Jupiter rising in the east. Go out and look up. Look up, for our redemption draweth nigh. Amen and Maranatha. Look up. Look up, my brothers and my sisters. Oh, look up. That's where it's at. That's where it's at. Well, I showed you my hat, my little hat that I found cleaning out cabinets, things, you know, dressers and such. Found something else. Found this in my dad's dresser. Kiss me, I'm Polish. Kiss me, I'm Polish. Could there be any greater request? Maybe. But I like this one. So, here I am. Here I am. Okay. I've had some folks leaving comments, emailing me, wanting to know a little more detail about what's happening in my moving along from my lifelong house. And home is up there. Home is where the heart is, and my heart is up there. Well, they did sell the house. I said that before. The house has been sold. Have not been informed yet as to how much time I have before I must vacate. But I do have a wonderful place to vacate unto. I will be remaining in FEMA Region number 3 for at least the time being. For you know, that seems to be Abba's will. Not seems, is. Not necessarily in this area where I am. A dear brother and sister, lifelong FEMA Region 3ers have, or FEMA Region 3ites, I don't know, is that better? Have decided, have prayed, and they have answered the call of our Elohim, and they are going to provide a home for me inside their home. And oh, I thank them. I don't know whether they would want me to mention their names. We can do that later. I'll be living in their house, so, you know, I can make videos with them if they want me. It's up to you guys, you know. But it won't be long before I'm out of here. And I think the Father has prepared this little Polish heart to move on without too much emotion. Well, we'll see. I know it's going to be strange. Not necessarily strange, but it's going to be a moment when I leave here knowing that I'll never come back inside here anymore. If you've lived anywhere for over half a century, I guess it would have to be a little bit of an emotional time when you say later on. But that's what we're going to do eventually. We're going to be saying later on to the only place we've ever known, which is this earth. Eye hath not seen, ear hath not heard. We can't comprehend really what it's going to be like up there with Eridon. What the millennium will be like. Eternity. Oh. Oh my. But it's coming. And we're going to be there. Those of us who love our Elohim and who have been called according to his purpose. That's all we have to worry about. That's all we have to be ready for. We don't have to be ready for wars and rumors of wars. We don't have to be ready for earthquakes and famines and pestilences. Nation rising against nation, ethnicity rising against ethnicity, brother against brother, mother-in-law against daughter-in-law, like our Savior said when he said he did not come to bring peace but a sword. We don't have to be ready for any of that. We just have to be ready for when that trumpet blows. And we go. Oh, oh, oh. Abba up. Abba up. Abba up. Oh, I ask for your prayers. I ask for... Oh, I don't know. I can't ask for any more. You've all been so wonderful to me. The comments that I receive for these videos, I really haven't received really, any kind of vile comments at all ever since I started this channel. There have been comments about just really kind of nitpicky things, nothing doctrinal. No one has ever questioned anything that I've spoken of doctrinally. There's the occasional mid or post-tribber that, talks about how the pre-tribulation catching away is satanic, every now and again. And they'll say something like, why do you believe in this idiotic idea of a pre-tribulation rapture? And I'll say, well, I believe it because I think it's true. Can I ask you a question? Why is it that when you go into the grocery store, there was a time when you bought celery and there was a lot of leaves on the top and you could use them to put in stock? Chop the tops off and use them for vegetable stock. How come you don't get as many celery leaves as you used to in the grocery store? And you ask them something like that and the trolls go away. They don't know how to answer a question like that. Whenever you get a troll, if you have a YouTube channel and you have a troll out there and they say something like, why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? You say, I don't know. Why do people park their car far away from other cars in a parking lot of the grocery store? They really believe that no one can still hit them out, because they park far away from other cars, and, put something absurd. Type in an absurd question. They'll go away. That's what I do. But, other than that, I would just like to say, kiss me, I'm Polish. And, well... ask for your prayers, your support, which you've given. Oh, as I've said, everything I have, I have, especially in the realm of the financial situation, has come through Abba, come from Abba through all of you. So I thank you all. I thank you all. It's been amazing. I know a lot of folks have left videos saying, we miss you, where are you? But I've been trying to put a video up once a week. I'm trying to do one a week, even though I'm in the midst of all of this craziness. And, I hope to do a live stream very soon with a lovely Floridian, so that's coming up. I'll be here until that trumpet blows. We're all going up together. I'll see you there. Maybe by the time we're done watching this video, you're done watching this video, maybe we'll be hugging up there, and and I'm Polish, so you can kiss me too. So I guess I'm gonna milk this for all it's worth. I was saying earlier in the video about this hot stuff that I've been eating. It's this chili garlic sauce. Oh. Hot. Oh, wonderful. The more you eat, the more you want. Releases those endorphins. You just start sweating like you're in a sauna. Oh. It ain't that kind of sweat like you do in Florida, But that's a whole other video. No, I guess that's about it. And now I suppose I'll pray. Oh Abba, oh Abba Father, be with us as we occupy until your Son comes to get us. That is our blessed hope. I know that there are so many out there watching what's going on in this world. Ease their hearts, ease their minds. Let them know that we don't have to be ready for any of that. We just have to be ready for you. Ready for when you blow that trumpet and your Son descends and we ascend unto him, where we will be with him forever. That is our prayer. I pray that you would continue to provide for this, your little Polish servant. And I will try my best to rightly divide your word and to come on here and speak to your children and make them laugh, make them smile if it's possible that I do so. I ask you to bless these wonderful people that are taking me in to their home, giving me a home. Oh, your Son had no place to lay his head, but you have made sure that we all do. We who love you. As we talked about in this video, where your son David, he made it clear that you would never see your children begging bread. We are your children, children of the King, co-heirs with your Bane, Yeshua HaMashiach. And very soon we will be dwelling eternally in all of those places that you have prepared for us from before the foundation of the earth. So we thank you, we love you, we praise you with our whole hearts. And we lift this prayer unto you in the name of your Son, Yeshua. And we all say, Amen. And Maranatha, Maranatha, Maranatha. Soon and very soon we are going to see our King. Soon and very soon we are going to see our King. Soon and very soon we are going to see our King. Hallelujah, hallelujah. We are going to see our King. Ooh. Ow. Thank you, Fritz. Hey.